Hello, everyone. This is Celestial coming to you with video number 9. And this video is The People Have the Sole and Exclusive Right of Governing Themselves. And this is in the constitutions. This is in the terms of the contract that the government servants, the workers, the almost slaves already swore. They took their oath that they would defend this, that they would protect this. All right? That we the people have the sole and exclusive right of governing themselves. See that? So, remember, they are the governed because they left their position as one of the people and went down into the position of an almost slave. An indentured servant. Why an indentured servant? Because it's a trust indenture. That's what this is, a trust indenture. And we, the people, put in the terms. And they agreed to it. They consented. They said, yes, I will do those things. I swear it, right? I am paraphrasing. So in the other videos, I showed you what the oath was, word by word, what they say. So that you can see for yourselves, they do take the oath and they do swear or affirm to defend, to support and defend the Constitution of the state where they work, and the United States Constitution, which is the District of Columbia Constitution. All right. So this young girl right here, this is someone's little girl. This is someone who is loved, and all kids of the whole world should be loved so much. They should be adorned. They should be dressed with beautiful flower crowns. They should be well fed, well nourished, well educated, well protected. They should be full of joy. They should be happy to exist, grateful to God to be given the life that He has given us. Not be abused. This is someone's little girl, and this little girl matters to her parents. She also matters to the people. And the parents are the ones that God decided to give her to. Her parents, not to anyone else. And I want you to see this right here. It says here, I wrote it down because I want you to also read it, and some people cannot hear very well, so it's good to have it written down. I try to do as much as I can write written down. Let's see. We, the people, govern ourselves based on the law of God. God, all of you who believe in God, understand that God has a way that He is, and God created His people and does not want any one of His people to harm any other of one of His people. So He governs. He is the one that created this law, this moral law inside of us, so that we know when something is right or wrong. We know if we're going to lie to someone, you know that's going to hurt them, and that is wrong. You know that it's wrong. He puts a moral law inside each one of us to know that. And the people, they call it the law of nature. The law of nature. Well, yes, because God is the creator of nature. He created all nature. All creation is His. And so that's why they call it the law of nature. Those are the inherent rights we're talking about. Okay? We the people govern ourselves based on the law of God, the law of nature, because God created nature and created man in His image for His glory, and put into us moral laws, and these laws are common laws because they are common to all men by God. So any man on the whole face of this whole planet has common laws. They may not be allowed to exercise them. They may be oppressed and not allowed to have their rights uninfringed, not trespassed, but they do belong to them. And if they only knew, they don't have to tolerate anyone oppressing them. They would stand up for their rights, because God wants you to stand up for your rights and the rights of the weak ones, the ones that cannot stand up for themselves, the unborn, the too old, the too frail, the sick. They cannot, the intimidated, the ones that don't want to speak up. They're afraid. They have been traumatized. Well, they need people to speak up for them, because they do pray. You know they pray. We prayed for things, right? And who comes to the rescue? Other people that God sends, right? You know how it is. I'm not going to give you the whole lecture right now or preach to you, but you know that when bad things happen to you, it is wrong, right? And I'm going to try to summarize this. It is wrong. And so the sin that someone does, the harm that that affects you, that affects God. That is a sin against God. And God is taking note. He's remembering it, and He will have justice. He is a God of justice. That is why you have to run to Him. If you have hurt anyone, you have sinned against God in any way, you have to run to Him now, while you still can, while you're still alive on earth, because once your time is up, it is too late. You cannot ask for forgiveness once you are separated from God and placed into hell. It is too late. He will not hear you. Well, He'll hear you, but because He knows everything. But He will ignore you. You will not receive mercy there. You can receive mercy now. So all of you and any of you who have not repented, go to God. Ask that He forgives you, and He is a merciful God, a loving God, and He can do it. He can do it. He'll know whether you are sincere or you are a phony pretending to be repented. He'll know the difference. He'll know the difference. And also, if you don't know how to say it, don't worry about finding the right words, because God knows your thoughts. God knows what you're trying to say. So just try to say it the best you can. Ask Him to forgive you. Mean it. Be real about it. And He will forgive you. And this is the time to do it. It means for all of you. Do it now while you still can. All right. So God doesn't want any one of us to harm any other one at all. That is the common law. So that's why it's common to all man. No matter what country you're in, God doesn't want the Asian to kill the other Asian. God doesn't want the black to kill the other black, the white to kill the other white, the brown to kill the other brown, whatever it is, the color to kill another color. He doesn't want that, right? He doesn't want that. There's a thing called murder, and He doesn't want that. He wants love to reign on this earth, to reign in the hearts of the people that He created. But people are stiff-necked, they are stubborn, willful, and they don't want to do what God says is best. And He knows what's best. It's up to us to obey Him. And that is what I'm talking about. Those are the law of nature, where God writes it in your heart to know. You know if what you're doing is right or wrong. You know it. You can't pretend. You know if it's right. You know if it's wrong. So you then decide, and you will decide according to this. You'll decide how you are, the propensity, the desire at the moment that you're going to make that decision. You'll know if you're close to God, if you're one of His, and you have been in His Word, studying His Word. You'll know, you'll have the strength to make the right choice. But if you have been away from God, neglecting the Word, not reading the Bible, not really meditating on His Word, you're going to be weak at that moment of choosing. You're going to be inclined to choose wrong, the desire of your heart, and not the desire of what God wants. You have free will, but He has free will too. His will is going to beat your will at any time. So He tells you, He gives you this moral law, this natural law, this common law. He gives you the knowledge of this because, look, He has a great place up there in heaven. It's really nice up there. And He's going to be there live and in person. He's going to be there. So it's clean up there. He doesn't want the stink of sin up there. He wants it to be beautiful, kind for loving to everyone, everything good. So why would you, if you're a sinner, unrepented, that likes to steal and likes to maim and likes to injure and likes all these different sins, right? Why would he let you be up there in heaven when your time terminates, when your time comes to stop living on the earth? Why would he let you up there when he doesn't want to be around sin? The only other place is hell. That's it. There are only two places. Look at this. With God, without God. With God, without God. Seriously? Yes. Thank you, Tom Cruise, for putting it so clearly for us. With God, without God. With God, without God. Exactly right. You are better off with God, so go to him now while you still can. And that is common law. No one, that's the law that you cannot break. That's the law that says you can be free, you can have liberty, you just can't harm someone else, right? You can't say be a false witness and harm them because you lied about them. You can't do that. That is a sin against God. See, that's common law. It's common to all men. This man over there on that side of the planet or that side of the planet, they can't lie against the other man over there and make him get in trouble and be punished for something that's not true. So that's common to all men. Got it? And that's why we call it common laws. You have to know this word, common laws. Listen, if anything does not match the word of God, it is wrong. If anything doesn't match what God says, what God has given to us in his word, it is wrong. It is wrong. And God is good. So everything he says is good and good for you. There's no reason to not like what he has to say because it is good. And people who disobey him, they wind up understanding how bad that is. We wind up understanding by what other people do to us also. When they harm us, we feel how horrible it is to feel that injury, that sin. So we have to understand we don't want someone else to feel that from us. Someone hurt us, we don't want to hurt someone else. Like some people do, I was hurt when I was a kid, so I'm going to turn around and when I grow up, I'll hurt everybody I can. No, that's wrong. You know what it's like to be hurt, and when you grow up, you're going to do right. You're going to do good because you know how bad it felt. You know how wrong it was. So you're going to do good. So know that what God has for us is beautiful, it is good, and accept it and look at it. Just examine it. Take a moment and carefully look at it. You'll see that it is good. Everything about God is good. So that's what I have to say about that common and its common laws. Okay, now here. Men with truckloads of money and fancy suits muddy the water of understanding and distort truth to suit their needs for money and power. So you're going to see people distorting the truth of God for money, for power. They want money so they can buy certain things that they couldn't buy if they didn't do it this way. They want power. They want recognition. They want all this adulation. They want people to just really do what they want done and obey them, that sort of thing. They're bossy like that over others. They want that power over people. So just know that they have a lot of money because they've been cheating, they've been taking it, wrongfully taking it, they've been sinning, taking it from others, and that's why they have a lot of money. Not all of them, though. Not all those who have a lot of money have been cheating or harming others. No. God has also raised men up to have a lot of money. It's not bad to have money. It's what you do with it. What you do with that money. That could be good or bad. So, yes, God wants you to prosper and to live a good life. Of course he does. But other men, they want what you have. They want what you have gathered together over the years, working hard, getting it together so you can get your things that you need to have or you want to have. Then they take it. They take it, and they're sinning against God when they do that. So those bad guys that are rich, not the good guys, because there are good guys that are rich, like everywhere else. Bad guys that are rich, good guys that are rich. All right, and I mean guys and gals. So these bad guys that are rich, they want to get to unite their forces, unite their energies, consult together, and scheme and plot and harm others to take their stuff, to take their things, even to take their actual bodies. They take what does not belong to them, what God has already is watching. They're taking it. They're sinning against God, and God is writing. He's remembering this, and he's gathering up the wrath for the day of judgment. He is gathering it up. All right. Do not want to be under his foot when that happens. You run to him right now. So, God created man in his image, right? You know this, all of you Bible readers, Bible buffs. You know, God created man in his image and chose man's form. He chose man's form, what man would look like, would sound like. All the things, he decided it. He put it together. We belong to him. That's what he likes. That's what he likes. So he does it. He does what he likes, and what he likes is good. What he likes and what he does is very good. It's holy. So it's not wrong. If he made you whatever color you are, that's God's decision. And it's a good decision because God is holy. He wants it like that, and he sincerely likes it like that. He's the boss. He loves a beautiful garden, and you get bored of just one flower. God likes variety, and that's his business. That's his business. That's his will, and it will, no matter what you do, God's going to make you what he wants to make you, right? All right, so God created man in his image and chose man's form. God is sovereign over all men and all creation, and all heaven and earth. Man is sovereign of himself, with no one or thing more sovereign than himself, except God, the creator of all. So you see, you're going to find that certain men, women, people that prefer sin over God, they're going to distort language, and they're going to make you think that sovereign is just used in one single way. They're going to try to confuse it up, muddy knowledge. Okay? Now, sovereign is used in so many ways. God is sovereign over all creation, right? But man is sovereign over himself, because you're sovereign the way God gave you a free will. And then your free will say, hey, you want to go to heaven or you want to go to hell? You are sovereign over yourself. Except God, because then God will say, all right, do you want to do it your way? That's fine. That means you go over there. Go over there. Because your way better be good way. And if it's a good way, okay, it matches God. If it doesn't match God, it's bad. Because God is good. God is so good, he's holy. All right? So now there's sovereignty in different levels. There's sovereignty. God is sovereign over all creation. Man is sovereign over himself. And then man is so sovereign over the things that he creates, because we're in the image of God, and we can create similar to God because he's letting us experience understanding God, getting to know his character, what he does. So he allows us to create things in his image. We create things. We don't create things the way God, exactly the way he does it, because he is unique and distinct. He's separate from us. He's like so different that he has all power. He's almighty. He can create planets, universes, etc. Life. He brings life back into dead bones. He can do all that. We cannot do that. But we're sovereign of ourselves, of what we decide. What do we want to do? And our will bumps into other people's wills. Bump, bump, bump. I want to go right, but somebody's in my way. Now they bump me. Now I got to go left first and then go right. So everybody has their will down here, but God's will is not thwarted. He will get his will done because he's God, Almighty God. Okay, so now here I write, we, the people, agree to exercise our sovereign powers and create constitutions and its terms, the terms inside the constitutions, and the form of government that best reflected our image and benefited us. So we the people create, and each one of the people, creators and our posterity is sovereign. We're sovereign over the created thing, man, we the people created. So we are sovereign over the governments because we the people made sure that we kept to ourselves and did not grant this over to the government or to the government personnel of any kind, the power to alter, reform, and abolish government at will. Anytime, whatsoever, anytime. We were even threatened with the loss of safety, with the loss of happiness, because it doesn't do us any good if we wait till after we are hurt, until after we are injured. It doesn't help us that way. So we said, no, whenever we are even, there's even a threat of the danger of maladministration, right? Those are the words, the danger of maladministration, which means even if we suspect it, that they're going to do something that's going to harm us, either our happiness or our safety, we can alter, reform, or abolish it, any part of it or all of it, because we are the trust protectors. Yes, we are sovereign over all government. We can exercise that power. We exercise that power as the founding fathers exercised their power to create government. We can exercise the power to alter, reform, or abolish because we are sovereign as the trust protectors, as the guardians of this trust indenture. We are sovereign over it. We can terminate it. We can change it because all of it was created to benefit us. All government, the only reason we, the people, agreed to create government was to benefit us. It is not even logical for them to think that, oh, we created it so they can govern over us. We created it so they can regulate us. We created it so they can tell us what to do, when to do it, how to do it, boss us around. That is moronic. That is irrational, illogical, and you know that's not how it is. They're mistaken. They want us to believe that. They want us to be intimidated by this word sovereign. They even like to use it. Oh, so you're saying you're above everything? You're the sovereign citizen? They like to make us fear using this word. But don't fear using this word because we are created in the image of God, and God is sovereign over all creation, and we are sovereign over what we create. And we created the government. We created it for our benefit. And the same way God can take us and throw us into hell, we can end that government. The government that is harming us. We can do it. If they happen to be harming us, right? If they're doing good by us, if they are benefiting us, we leave it alone. We are fine with it because it is benefiting us, because we are safe. We feel safe. We are safe. We are defended. Each one of you guys can do whatever you want. You can associate with whomever you want. If they want to associate with you, you want to associate with them, go for it. Go for it. Be happy. Go for it. If you want to associate with so-and-so, but she doesn't or he doesn't want to associate with you, then there's a problem because you are important, but so is that other one of the people. You're both important, and individual rights are the highest because this individual cannot force his or her way onto this individual and manipulate them and control them. They cannot do that. They don't have that authority by God. That is not authorized by God. God wants no slaves to each other. No one of us is to be a slave of any other one of us. No, we're not. So that's why be careful with this word sovereign, because it applies. It is yours to use. You can use it because you're the creator. See, the founding fathers created this government by agreeing to do it, by deciding on what terms to put into this constitution, deciding what form of government it should be, that it should be a Republican in form. Therefore, all power, all political power remains with the people, and sovereignty remains with the people. But in any other form, it gives way to dictatorship. It gives way to tyranny. That is why, notice this, ask yourself, why are some people so determined to make you think, oh no, our democracy is in danger. Oh no, that's not democratic. Oh, it should be democratic. Because that is the pathway to tyranny. Look at the ones pushing for that. Look at the ones in general pushing for that. You will see that they are the ones tending to harm other people. They tend to harm other people. And they can say whether they don't know that they're doing it, it was an accident or whatever, but gee whiz, it just happens that they're the ones harming other people quite often. And they are pushing for democracy. Do not fall for their lies and tricks. This is a Republican in form. The type of government it is Republican in form, because all political power remains with the people. The people are the bosses. The people are the trust protectors. They remain sovereign, and with their sovereignty, they can exercise it and alter, reform, or abolish any part or all of the government. When their life is at stake, when their safety is at stake, when they even have their happiness threatened. And it can happen, and in any manner we see fit. We decide, we come together, and we say, hey, let's do it this way. Good. That's the fastest way. Let's do it. That's the law. That's what they took their oath. So it's too late to change their minds now, because they should have read it. They should have read it. It was not in tiny little clause. It was very clearly there. That's what they signed. They took their oath and subscribed to defend exactly that we have the right to alter, reform, or abolish any part or all the government anytime we are in danger of losing our happiness, of our safety. See? They already took their money. They already cashed it. They took it to the bank and spent it. They already went to wherever, whatever trip. They used our money. We paid them for this, to do this. We paid them already. Gotcha. All right. It's a done deal, folks. It's a done deal. Are they going to return the money? Are they going to give the money back and say, okay, I changed my mind? Well, for the time that they were there and the time they took the money, and it's done. It's done. They cannot infringe or trespass or encroach on any one of our rights, not the slightest one, not the tiniest one, not even our happiness, because that is going against their oaths of office if they do it. All right. Government is sovereign over personnel, and government likes to use the word sovereign a lot. So let's pay attention to this. Government is sovereign. Yes, it's sovereign. Over what? Over personnel. Over the people they hire directly below them. Not even across the way. It's who they hire. Not even across the way. Not this branch to that branch to that branch. No. It's only the people they hire to do that task. If we hired them to mop the hallways, they can only mop the hallways. We can hire a manager to hire more people to mop the hallways. if they start typing on the computer, they had no authority to do it, and that is maladministration in the least and treason at most. And it is sinful because it is against God, because that is against the people, and it's a harm to the people, and God wants the people to not be harmed. So now again, government is sovereign over personnel directly below them, and government or government personnel do not have all political power. We the people have all political power, and I showed you this before. I read to you, go to Ballotpedia or a government website of your state and look at the Constitution under the Bills of Rights, Declarations of Rights, the rights and privileges, the Declarations of Rights and Privileges, all of these things. Go read them and you will see that the people, that's us, we have all political power. They are not the people. Once they leave their status as one of the people, they leave it, they go down, and now they are almost slaves. They are almost slaves. They are servants of ours, and they have over their heads treason. If they fit into the category, if they meet all the elements that are required to meet treason, they're in trouble. Okay. And so I am recording. So they have all political power. We the people have all political power. So watch out for those seeking to redefine words to suit their needs, to help them buy more suits and pay for girls, cars, vacations, or anything else, right? In other words, if they distort, if they tell you, no, you don't have all political power, they're lying. That's not true. We do have all political power. Look at your Bills of Rights, Declarations of Rights. You will see what it says, and you will see they already agreed to it. They said, yep, it is. And they took their oaths of office, they uttered the words necessary, and then they took their hands and signed on the dotted line. They already took their paycheck. It's a done deal, and it's tough cookie crackers from there on. They are now stuck with those terms. So I told you, you guys want to know the rules of how to win this game? This is how you're already a winner. You just never knew it. You're already a winner. You just have to know that you are, and you have to know what shows that you are, where to go to show it, because there are people who don't believe it. You have to be able to show it. And so we are doing exactly that. We're showing it. It's in the contract. You'll see. So they distort. They like, and I don't like to say his name, but there it is. I'm going to say it. Like Satan likes to use the words God uses, and so do its children, because it's not a he or a her, it's a thing. And it has children who choose to be like him. It, like it is what it is. They want to be like that. They want to lie and hurt others lying. They want to take what doesn't belong to them. They want to pinch somebody. They want to knock somebody's teeth out. They want to rape somebody. They want to burn somebody. They want to do terrible things, etc. You know how it is. Just look at the news and see the terrible things that terrible people do. And you'll see they are like their father, Satan. And some government workers, not all of them, are distorting words. They're distorting definitions. And they have assistance by other entities that are aiding them. And together, they're switching the words around, and that's not good. That's not good, because that's what Satan does. Okay, so if definitions do not match what God says, then it's stricken down, void, and without force or right. It is. If you look at some dictionaries do explain what some things are and some don't. Like, for example, my pet peeve is if the constitutions, right? they swear and uphold, that they take their oaths to support and defend the Constitution of their state and the one that's in the United States. And if they don't do that, they cannot be hired. They cannot receive a paycheck. They cannot receive a title, right? Take seat of office. Then that is a very important document. If that is a very important document, which it is, why is it that certain people that define words that are lawful words dealing with the law, why do they not define all the words in the constitutions? Why are those words? There are many words that I've been looking for, and they're not found in those particular dictionaries that are used in law schools. Many of them that are used in law schools to teach students that are learning the law. Why are they not taught the most important words that's the constitutions? Those words are important. Every one of those words they're all important. They're important, like sacred. Oh my gosh, it's important to know the word sacred. Okay, sacred. Or encroachment. It's important to know what that means regarding the way they use it in the Constitution. Not the way they use it for streets and highways and that sort of thing. No. The way they use it in the Constitution. Define that, please. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. And it's not good. So, all government must benefit us. So if there is a doubt about anything, then always go to the side of benefiting the people. Because that's the reason why government was created, to benefit the people. So if you are not sure which way to go towards the side of benefiting, clearly benefiting the people, all the way benefiting the people, and not the government. Not the government. Because they are not considered one of the people. While they're working as the indentured slave, servants, the almost slaves, while they're there, they are not allowed to exercise all their rights while they're in office. Now, when they go home and they want to sleep, of course they can't go to bed in a fireman's suit, right? Or go down a pole to go to the fire truck when they're at home. They're home, they have their inherent rights intact, but they're still connected to the government, so they must still at all times, 24/7, never do anything that interferes with any one of the people's rights, the individual's rights. Okay, so got that part, and I'm in a rush because it's so hot. It's so hot here, and I'm taking care of someone, and I'm trying to get this done and go back to taking care of said someone. Okay, so as all government was created for our benefit, for each and every single one of the people, not only the group or bunch, but the individual, as that is what the terms say, and that is what government servants took and subscribed their oaths to do. And that is what they're getting paid to do. So I see this little girl again. Oh, she's so cute. All right. So she's somebody's daughter. She's not mine. I don't know if she's a nice little girl later on when she grows up. I don't know. But when they're little, they need to be taken care of. They need to be protected. When they're big too. But, we don't know if they're going to turn out to be government servants that turn bad, that break their oaths of office. We don't know. So we'll deal with it as it comes up. But meanwhile, we treat everybody lovely, lovely, lovely. So, Massachusetts State Constitution, Part the First. This one has fancy words. It says Part the First. Ooh, it sounds so fancy. Part the First. Text of Article 4. And look at this, because they had that. A lot of people read a lot of books, and they would speak eloquently. So they wrote eloquently. Now, it says this. And I'm going to show it to you. This is Massachusetts. Let me see if I have it already. Not yet, but I will get it for you. Let me see really quickly. I don't want to take too long, but I'm going to get it really fast. There we go. Let's see if it comes out. Okay, see this here? See, Part the First. See, this is what I'm talking about. Ballotpedia. This is where you go. This is so easy to use. That's why we like it, because it's so user friendly. And you can click on a lot of fun things and get to a lot of fun information. This one says Part the First, Massachusetts Constitution. Okay, so then you go. Look at this one's called, see, I told you they have different names. A Declaration of the Rights of the Inhabitants of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This is the longest title for the bills. You know, like Dylan's just called Bills of Rights. Dylan's just Declarations of Rights. Dylan's Rights and Privileges. Well, this is the longest one. That's why I told you, man. This is the longest one. A Declaration of the Rights of the Inhabitants of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The inhabitants. That's who this is. These are their rights. And they're being declared. Why are they being declared? So the government servants know not to step on them. Not to trespass, not to interfere, infringe, you know, the whole work. Not to diminish, trick away, wave away. No, sorry, no can do. Always go to the side what benefits the people. If it benefits the people, that's the best thing. That's the correct thing. That's what they swore to support and defend at all times, right? So now, okay, so this one, I'm showing you Article 4. So I'll go here, Article 4. You'll see that it's here. You go here to Article 4. Look at here. It says, the people of this Commonwealth have the sole and exclusive right of governing themselves. What? Of governing themselves. What? Yes, of governing themselves. And each one is governing themselves as a free, sovereign, and independent state, and do and forever hereafter shall exercise and enjoy every power, jurisdiction, and right, which is not or may not hereafter be by them expressly delegated to the United States of America in Congress assembled. And I have to take this opportunity to tell you this right now. All political power originates from we the people, so that it goes from us, it's derived from us, and it goes and is being granted so they can use it for the items on the list that we wanted them to do and which we hired them to do for us. So we are the ones where the power comes from, right? So if they have it, that means we have it, because we had it first. Or else how did they get it? It only came from us. If they have it, we have it first, and we have it more because it originates from us. And they are no longer seen as the people. They are seen as indentured servants. But they lost the status of we the people for the duration of their employment there, of their servitude. So that is why they should take this seriously. This is a dangerous position to desire. To work for we the people, it is a dangerous thing, because if they abuse their powers, if they use them unjustly, or if they mingle them together and don't do the separation, keep the separation of powers, they're already committing treason. Look it up. It's treason. It's treason. Because they already got paid to stick by the terms, and don't let them trick you and saying, well, those are just kind of wishful thinking. That's sort of like an idea, like a little guideline to get it started. Yeah, they wish, but you stick to it. That they have to do what's in writing at all times, what's written down, and nothing else. So if we did not give it to them, I cannot emphasize this enough. If we did not grant them a certain power, authority, they do not have it. And they cannot pretend that they have it, because then they're in deep trouble, aren't they? That deep, murky, brown trouble, right? Okay, the people of this Commonwealth have the sole and exclusive right of governing themselves. I have it over here for you. See, who has this exclusive right? The people. It doesn't matter whatever anybody says. Look at it. The people of this Commonwealth the people of this Commonwealth. The people of this Commonwealth have the sole and exclusive right of governing themselves. And remember, if we the people created a government to help us defend our rights, to assist us in defending our rights, we are still defending our own rights. They are just there to help us defend our rights. They are assisting us in defending our rights. We never said we're going to stop defending our rights and only you can defend our rights. We never said that. It doesn't say it in paper. It doesn't say that. We continue to defend ourselves first and foremost, and they help us in defending our rights. So if we decide they're being clowns, and Bozo the clown, I like Bozo, he was a nice old clown, but if they're being clowny like it, then they're doing something very, very bad. They're doing wrong. Am I right? Am I correct? Check it out. See, the people of this Commonwealth have the sole and exclusive right of governing themselves as a free, sovereign, and independent state, and do and forever hereafter shall exercise and enjoy every power, jurisdiction, and right. I slowed it down for you so you could really catch it. Ready? In fast pace, exercise and enjoy every power, jurisdiction, and right. Exercise and enjoy every power, jurisdiction, and right. Forever. Forever. And I hope I'm not yelling because I'm trying to get this microphone just right. Okay, so I'm telling you guys that if they have it now, we had it first. and we didn't. It originates from us, guys. Okay, which is not or may not hereafter be by them expressly delegated to the United States of America in Congress assembled. This particular thing, we are reserving it. We better not touch this. It says no, which is not or may not hereafter be by them expressly delegated to the United States of America in Congress assembled. All right. Thank you, Dave Jose, for teaching us all of this. All of this. You guys are going to be so happy and excited when you meet Dave Jose and you get to come and learn with us more in depth of everything. Because the more we study with him, the more our minds get opened up. We are bedazzled. We are razzle-dazzled. We are like, wow, I did not even know to even have my mind go there and think about those things. He helps us. He directs like where to pay attention to. He says, look here, read this. Oh, wow, you're right. It says that. It is amazing, amazing how he knows so many things. We all that attend his webinars, there are many of us who are really, really smart, way really smart. And some of us are just regular smart. I'm a regular smart. So I can catch these things. And the other people are really catching so much. So I have to try harder. I have to read a little bit longer, double read it, triple read it to really stick it in my head to make me remember it up. But it's all there. It's all evidence. And it is so good if you guys study his free videos, so many free videos that cover so many things that you need to know if you want to win this game in America, if you want to win this game in the world. Know your rights. Know where to find them. And know how to exercise them. That you can be confident. But studying it more and more brings the confidence, because everything that you study that's new brings you and reinforces the other things, because you go, yes, this supports this. Yes, this also supports this. It all is true. It's evidence-based knowledge. We only give you evidence. That's Dave. Dave gives us evidence. and we have to learn from the best. We have to give you evidence, because otherwise we're being, like you said something negative about people who just teach without evidence. Okay, so you gotta like look at this. That's why I put right here the link, so you can look for it yourself. See, I have the link right here. I look at it, you see, so you can look for it. Okay, and see for yourself, and see what your eyes, believe your mind, because they have been tricking us. Certain of the government servants have been dedicated, full on tricking us. And I don't understand if all the others that are nice, if they're not aware of this. We have to make them aware. Hey guys that are good out there in the government servants that are working for us. Hey, did you know that there are some in there that are doing things that are totally against the people? Help us out. Do your jobs, please, and help stop that. So we're teaching them, we're instructing them. We have a right to do that. We have the right to instruct them, remind them of what's right, of what they swore to. We have the right to do that. And the good ones, they better hurry up and get it done, because otherwise, if we got to go, ándale, pronto, this spill on aisle 5, go mop it up before someone slips. Someone's about to slip, go mop it up. Go quicker, fast, move it. We have a right to do that when our lives are at stake. When our lives, each one of our lives matter. If you have been harmed, it matters. And it doesn't just get to sit like that. Oh, too bad for you. It doesn't just get to sit like that. There's also redress of grievances. You have to know about that, because it doesn't have to stay. You don't have to stay with your boo-boo. Ouchie, you don't. You get as much as you can be restored, as though you were never injured. That's what it's supposed to be. You have to be restored to the fullest as is humanly possible, as though you were never injured. So they have to do their best to have redress of grievances. If they don't do it, and you told them to do it, because some government personnel injured you and they refuse to do it, they're beyond maladministration. That's treasonous activity. They need to look up what is the punishment when someone is found to be committed, someone who has been found and proved to have been committing treason. What is the punishment? They need to get it. They need to figure that out, because they already took their oath and said, I do to that. It's a done deal. All right. So you guys, wipe your tears. Wipe them away, because if they took something from you without a trial by jury, and other things too, if they force you to do anything that you don't want to do, you have all freedoms. They cannot do that to you. Now, you cannot trespass into someone's home. That you can't do. See, now you're hurting someone else. Come on, you guys, be reasonable. You know you can walk the streets as much as you want to. You're not hurting anyone. You can do that. They cannot tell you anything different. If you're not hurting someone, they cannot tell you what to do or what not to do. You just can't hurt someone. If you drive 1,000,000 miles an hour, if you don't hurt someone, they can't tell you what to do. It's not in the Constitution. Gee, I know it sounds good to tell people how fast or slow to drive, but gee whiz, you know what? It's not in the Constitution. I just want to see if somebody could please show it to me where it's in the Constitution, because that is what they signed. That is what they took their oath to do, not the other stuff. And the items we told them to do, they have to stick to those items on the list. They cannot do something else because it's in their heart to do it, because they think it's a good idea. They can think all they want to that it's a good idea. They don't. It's like the guy who mops the hallways. We hired them to mop the halls of the building, and they decide, oh, I'm going to go and start cooking in the cafeteria, or I'm going to go start using people's computers and maybe see what they're typing and improve their do like Grammarly and improve their writing. Check for commas, check for punctuation marks or spelling. I'm going to do that. All right. Subject verb agreement. Let's do that. But they were never told to do that by us. They were never hired to do that. by us. So they may not do it, even though their big old palpitating heart says, I want to check their spelling and their punctuation because I took classes, before being hired here, and I know about spelling and punctuation and all this, and I want to help them. It's good because I want to have, good paper. Too bad. They were not granted that authority to do that. They can't do it just because they think it's a good thing to do. They can't do it like what they're doing, giving away our money to other countries when we never told them to do that. And yet they're doing it. That because they have a big heart for other countries. We never told them to do that. So they cannot do that. They could do it out of their own pockets. They can go sell their house and their car and spend their kids' college money and go be those goody two-shoes of the world and go give it away. They cannot do it with our money because we never authorized them to do it. Right? Am I right? It's all in writing. What is in writing they can do. If it's not in writing, they can't do it. They cannot do it. It's all in writing. Now us, it's different with us because for us, those guys, I'm not going to call them fools because it's bad, right? Okay, but I'm going to say those uncareful readers, or maybe they just didn't know that we were going to find out. They already took their oath and swore to defend and support that we have rights that are not even written down. And they have to defend those exactly as bravely and courageously and diligently and faithfully as if they were written down. So we can have things that are not written down and they have to do it, but they can't. They cannot do it because they're servants to benefit us. And they already signed on the dotted line. They already signed on the dotted line. Us, we have rights that are not even written down. All sorts of rights, and they're just as important. Like, and here's another thing while I'm on that topic. God gives us rights that are inherent. Like, say, He gives you the right to breathe oxygen, breathe air, right? They cannot write a statute that says legislature, we're going to make the statute that says they have our permission to breathe air. They have our permission to allow their heart to beat. They have our permission to speak freely, freedom of speech. They have our permission to have a trial by jury. They do not give us those rights. We have those rights. And we reminded them of what our rights are. None of our rights come from the Constitution. They're written in there. They are written in there, but they are to us by God. God already gave it to us. So why are they saying they did? Did they breathe life into us and make us live? Are they almighty gods able to do that? No. God gives us the inherent rights, the common rights, the common law to all men. So they cannot, don't be fooled when they say, well, they granted me a right. Like I had to ask him for an exemption, which is an exception, that I didn't want to. I know they have this new thing now that they science, this special Fukikaka doctor, Lakanumaki Nakawaka, his name is that's his name. I can't spell it, it's too long. And he says, well, it's a good idea for this, that they found that if you lose the right arm, surgically remove it, you actually get 40 more years of life. So it's beneficial that you remove the right arm. And because we love you and we care about the people and it's good for the group, it's good for the whole, everyone is now, there's a mandate that tells you have to get your arm removed because that brings your life at least a minimum of 40 extra years of life. It extends your longevity. So, and it's scientifically proven too. Look, we did it to all these monkeys and we did it to all these rats and they're living 40 more years. Well, not exactly 40, but it would be multiplied in human years, would it be equivalent to 40 years. They lived a few days, but that's, equivalent to 40 years. And so now it's a mandate. You are required to lose your right arm for the safety and improvement of your life. You don't want to? Tough cookie crackers on you. Can the government do that? Are they authorized to even think about our health like that? You guys, you're winners, but if you don't know your rights, you're gonna behave as a loser, because then you're gonna be like a loser, right? Not knowing what is your right. Like, say if you won the lottery, well, you're gonna be poor without the lottery, right? But because you didn't find out that you won the lottery, so you're gonna be poor. There's a pot of gold right under that tree, but if you don't know it's under the tree, well, how are you going to get it? In other words, you have to know. You have to know that you have rights. You have to know how to use them and to insist on them. But you won't know if you don't read the Bills of Rights and Declarations of Rights. You won't know what a humongous winner you are, an enormous winner you are. You won't know. You'll just take their word for it and not even argue against it, when you can argue against it very nicely. We're all arguing against it right now. They're bad. Some of them, not all of them. There are a lot of good ones. I love those good ones. Okay, so now this is Arkansas State Constitution Preamble. Look at here where it says, we the people, not we the government, we the people of the state of Arkansas, right? Grateful to Almighty God for the privilege of choosing our own form of government, for our civil and religious liberty, and desiring to perpetuate its blessings and secure the same to ourselves and posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution. Let me see if I have that one here. This is, no, kitty cat, don't talk to me right now because you're going to get me in trouble. You'll be interrupting me like that, Mr. Cappy. Mr. Cappy, captain of all cats. All right, guys, just bear with me. I'm going to get it for you to prove to you because, evidence. It's important to have evidence. All right, so this one is the preamble. All right, so here it is. The preamble. See, look at Ballotpedia. Look what it says. This is the United States Constitution. Where did I write that? Arkansas. Oh, did I put the wrong one down there? Yes, I did. Let me just look for it right now. Okay, so Arkansas State Constitution. Let me see. Constitution and then Ballotpedia. Okay, let me see if I found it. Okay. Arkansas. Where are you, Arkansas? Okay, here's Arkansas. That's Arkansas. It's saucy over there. So here's Arkansas Constitution. And here's the preamble. Look what it says. You read for yourself. I didn't do this. They did it. There it is. It's evidence. This is evidence. We, the people of the state of Arkansas, grateful to Almighty God for the privilege of choosing our own form of government, for our civil and religious liberty, and desiring to perpetuate its blessings and secure the same to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution. So much here. Where should we start? First of all, we, the people, not we, the government. And, did they believe in God? Well, it says here, grateful to Almighty God. All right. For what? Oh, that means we choose a form of government? Republican in form so they could benefit us the most? Yeah. And we have different types of liberties. There's some that are civil, there's some that are religious, and there are others, right? Oh, and what? And desiring to do what? To perpetuate its blessings. See, look at blessings comes from God. That's what blessings come from. To perpetuate means to make it keep going, okay? And security. Call security. To secure the same to ourselves and posterity. You have to remember that you are the posterity. This is who this is being secured for. It is being to secure the same to ourselves and posterity. That's us. And now, who does the doing and ordaining? The people do. Do ordain and establish this constitution, because they cannot do anything unless we authorize it. The people. All authorization originates from the people. All power granted to the government originates from the people. So they have nothing that originates from them. Nada. It says there all political power is derived from the people. So what do they have? They have zero originating from them. Zero. They can only go to what is written down and stick to the letter. Stick to that letter. And stick to the grants and stick to the thing they were hired to do. And only write to achieve, to accomplish, to get to the goal of what we hired them to do. Nothing else. We don't want them to go and spend our money teaching people on the other side of the planet how to tie their shoelaces. As nice as that may seem, okay, that we've discovered that there are people in another country, they don't know how to tie their shoelaces. They run around tripping on their feet all day because their shoelaces are dragging down their feet. And oh my goodness, we have to do something about it. Okay, let's go write some act and some statute, or pass a bill, pass this, pass that. Let's go give them billions of dollars to teach them how to tie their shoelaces, because we feel so bad when we see them not knowing how to tie their shoelaces. Our heart hurts for them. And we are so loving and so caring. Oh, give me a pat on the back because I'm such a good guy in government, aren't I? A good gal in government. Pat me on the back. Give me an award for being the one that cares for people who have bad shoelace abilities, shoelace tying abilities. And so let's spend the American money to go over there and pay to teach people how to tie shoelaces. Or like the other one we passed last week, to count how many of that kind of fish are males and how many of them are females. How many of them are 5 inches long and how many of them are 4 inches long. Let's pass a bill. It's going to take several billions of dollars to count them and to double check counting those fish. So they cannot do things that we did not hire them to do. And we didn't hire them to go teach people how to tie shoelaces. We did not hire them to go count fish across the world. We did not hire them to do many, many things that I have been noticing that they've been doing. Have you been noticing that they've been doing things that we never hired them to do? How? Some of you have, but some of you don't know the difference because you don't know. That means you're acting like as though you're a loser. You have to now act like you're a winner. How to do that? You got to read the Bills of Rights, Declarations of Rights, and guess what? When you win, it's not going to be a little win. It's going to be humongous. See, it's worth your time. It's worth it. Because when they do something bad to you, you will recognize it immediately and you will say, hey, no can do. No can do. Redress of grievance, please. Let's see. For me, it hurts me if they hurt me. If, say they took, let's just pretend, let's just imagine here. I'm not going to tell you what they took from me, but let's just say if they took away my home and they never gave me a trial by jury. And say they took your home and they never gave you a trial by jury. Although they could say, well, they had a right to take it. Okay, all right. But before they can take it, they have to put you through what is called constitutional due process. Because they also have a non-constitutional due process that's for their personnel. That is not constitutional due process. So if they took your house by any means, for any reason whatsoever, and they said they had the right to do it, they had to first prove it inside of a trial by jury. And guess what? They shouldn't charge you a single dime, not a penny, not anything, because when we seek justice in our courts, it's in the Constitution that it's supposed to be free, gratis. No cuesta dinero. No charging, please. No dollar. Nothing for the dollar. Nothing for the dollar. No dollar here. No thanks. Free. So if they say, well, you want trial by jury, it's going to cost you like maybe 50, 100,000. Oh, I guess I better do without it. Nope, you didn't have to do without it because it's supposed to be free. Everything that when you seek justice in courts, you have to get it free. It's in the Constitution, but you didn't know that, I bet. I bet you didn't know that. Did you know that? Oh, put it in the comments if you knew that already. If you didn't, put it in the comments. You didn't know that, but now you know. They took your car for tickets without a trial by jury, messed up. They took your house without a trial by jury, they messed up. Anything, okay? And guess what? So for me, like if they took my house, they did it without trial by jury, then I could say, you know what? They took away all the time, the memories I would have had with my kids there. They took away all those years. I can't get those back. I cannot get those back. I had my home. I had the plans for how we're going to live our lives in full enjoyment of happiness. All these plans, all this thrown in the trash because they took my home without a trial by jury. And I lost all those years. Now my kid's grown up, all big, ready to fly, the nest, leave the nest. And what happened to my enjoyment of their youth, of their years, having fun times together there? When they took it, it derails many things. When they take your house without a trial by jury, it derails and impacts. It harms other things because it's like a domino effect. That this harms, that harms, that harms. It's very destructive. That's why they call it's a sacred right, and it's a forever right. They cannot ever do without it. They cannot trick you out of it. So if they took anything, if they took your children without a real trial by jury, and I'm talking jury of your peers, people there that are in the jury, not just the judge in his black outfit, costume, not with the bailiff there and his gun and the attorneys there. Where look around, where's the jury? So where's the jury? Where are the seats for the jury? Where do they sit? I don't see the jury in this trial by jury. Where are they? Oh, no trial by jury? Redress of grievance, please, because you're not to harm any one of the people. Because every one of the people, no matter how poorly dressed, they matter. They matter. Their lives matter. If they took your car, your dented beetle truck that you used to go to work with, and they made you take the bus, they owe you a redress of grievance. You have to know how to collect it, how to ask for it, and how to collect it. Okay, because we're the whole reason why the government exists is to benefit us. And it doesn't benefit us if they harm us. How does that benefit you if they destroy your life? Is that a benefit? To have your life destroyed? Just because you're alive, does that mean that your life has not been destroyed? All the memories that you could have had, would have had, all derailed, all gone, vaporized by their whims? How am I going to make my kids get small again so I can do all the wonderful things we had planned to do with our home, in our home, in the neighborhood? How can I relive that? Well, that's expensive loss. That's an expensive loss. And you mothers know that one little picture of your lovely child, that is so pretty. Oh, you want your picture. You love their pictures. You love their videos when they're little. And now I couldn't make any videos. I couldn't have any of that, right? So if it happened to you, that they took your home, they took your car, took anything, any of your property, without going through the proper procedure, constitutional due process, with a trial by jury, with a jury of your peers, in a court of record, a true court of record, with all the fullness of your rights intact and in full operation, they have harmed you. They have harmed you, and you can have redress for those grievances. It has to be done because we are important. And why should we be sorry? Oh, but we shouldn't ask them because this or that. You may have different reasons, but they're giving our money away to other countries, for crying out loud. They can spare some money to restore you back as though you were not harmed. But they cannot do that because their memories are all gone. So it's going to be expensive redress of grievance. Because that teaches them, don't do that to anyone, please. Don't take their stuff without trial by jury. Don't do that. And let this be a notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. But I'm telling you this as one of the people of the 50 American states, Republican in form, sui juris. I'm telling you that even in this court of record video, you are not to take any of the people's things without a trial by jury, any of the people's property without a trial by jury, and you cannot charge them anything in court for any reason because it's guaranteed to be free. It's guaranteed to be free, and if you didn't know, now you know. And if you keep it up after finding out, you're going to be in trouble. That's just the way it is. People get in trouble if they want to get in trouble, don't want to get in trouble. Don't put yourself in that position of being in trouble. All right, so anyway, so this is what we're reading, and then I'm going to finish up right here. Look, this is just to show you that civil, see when we read civil and religious liberty? Okay, civil liberties are the types of liberties that you get like when you're voting, those kinds of civil liberties, right? Shortcut to what it is. And then see this Bible and the girl, it looks like a girl's arms, could be a guy, a young guy, whatever. This man or woman's praying with the hands folded over the Bible. Now, these two young little girls, these little sweet girls, they are our posterity. They are the ones, the reason why we are taking control of our government again, and we are teaching the people their power. These little girls matter. Our little girls matter. Your little boys matter. Our kids matter. They matter, and we need to leave them in a place, in a country that is safe for them, where they are safe, where they are happy, where they can enjoy life like God wanted it to be enjoyed, with goodness and kindness and love and respect, and no one messing up on someone else, no one harming another. That's the way it is supposed to be. And that's what our founding fathers, that's why they wrote the constitutions the way they did, because that is what they wanted for our country and for our people to live to the fullest of joys, the fullest of happiness and safety. The only reason we have a military is for our safety. They are our young men and women. They are our young men and women, and they go out endangering their lives for our safety, not for the safety of anyone else, for our safety. Now, it's true that together we can decide together that something needs to be done about a tyrant because they're coming this way. And then it's done. It can get done with our kids. Otherwise, they have people too. And you guys can decide what you want on that, but it has to be in writing. And in writing, the Navy, the military, the Air Force, all of those things, they're for our benefit, the American people's lives. And how does it benefit to go have our young men and women to go die out there? It's not even for our country. It's not even for that. Not to keep us safe. Our borders, are they secure? Are they closed off to make sure that that these kids are not kidnapped, are not trafficked? Is it secure? They're sending our money to secure other countries' borders. Oh, are our government servants confused in what their role is, what they have sworn to do, what they have taken their oath of office to do? They are to support and defend our rights, the American people's lives and rights. And when they take our money to secure other borders, but they don't secure our borders, that's not making us feel safe. if I'm their parents right here, I wouldn't feel safe. I would imagine that there's danger of them being kidnapped, danger of them being run over by a bad driver from another country, danger of all sorts of dangers with unknown people just walking through and carrying all sorts of things that we don't know what they're holding, what they're carrying with them. All right, so it's important. So now this last one, let me see, just a little bit more and I'm done. Let's see, New Jersey Constitution, Article 1. This is called Rights and Privileges. Paragraph 1. All persons are by nature free and independent. See? Independent. They are by nature free and independent. They are not governed. If they were governed, how can they be free and independent? They are by nature, by God. That's God's will. That's God's decision. No man can go against God's decision and get away with it and be okay or not be in trouble with God. By nature, because God created nature for us. We are free and independent. And singular, see, independent, we have independent rights. We have the right to be happy and think what we want to think and do what we want to think as long as we don't hurt someone else. If you want to do weird things with someone else and they want to do weird things with you or whatever it is, go for it. You have the right. If they are okay with it and you're okay with it, go for it. You just can't hurt someone else. You cannot lure someone towards you to then do your little will on them. You can't do that because that's hurting someone else. But you, all sorts of things go on in this world and you're free to do whatever because the only one that you're going to answer to is God. So if it goes against God and your activity is between the two of you and you both agree to it, but it goes against God, then you're going to have to deal with it with God. We don't have to do anything to you at all. You're free to do whatever you want because that we are free to do whatever we want. But then you'll have to deal with it on your own with God. But we don't have to mess with you and tell you you can't do this or you can't do that. The same thing you cannot tell us we can't do this and we can't do that. Because we're not governed by the government. We govern ourselves. The government has to do statutes and the things they do to get the work done that we told them to get done, and only that. So they're not there to govern us. We didn't create a monster. Here, govern us, for crying out loud. Here, boss me around. Bang me on the head. And I'll pay you on top of that. I'll pay you to harm me. My money will go to you so then you can oppress me. That is irrational. That is not even logical. And we already got rid of an oppressive king to do it, to have freedom. It's clear in the contract, and the only way that we're going to be free of anyone in government hurting us, if they happen to be, not that they are, but if they happen to hurt us, right? The only way to be free from that is if you know your rights and where to find them and how to show them. So here, all persons are by nature free and independent and have certain natural, unalienable, sometimes you're going to hear it inalienable, unalienable. It just means not alienable, not to alienate it, to remove it, right? Not alienable, right? Unalienable rights, among which are those of enjoying. See, there's the joy again. We have a right to have joy because that's who God is. God wants us to have joy. That's why He created us, to help to see us having joy for His glory. But He cannot have joy. He doesn't have joy when we are hurting each other. When someone's hurting us, that does not give Him joy. That gets Him angry. And when God does anything, He does it big. He doesn't do it small. He's big on everything to show His character bigly. Big on justice. Big on mercy. Big on forgiveness. Big on wrath. Big. He does everything really big and noticeable. So enjoying and defending life and liberty, of acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and of pursuing and obtaining safety and happiness, and of pursuing and obtaining safety and happiness. We have these rights. We have these rights, all these rights. Look at defending life and liberty, defending life and liberty, of acquiring. You have to be able to acquire it. Possessing, you have to be able to possess it with somebody not taking it. And protecting property. You have the right to protect it. You have the right to protect first. The government is there to assist you. So if they don't do it right, you don't have to stay as a citizen of that state. You can go above it. You can be back to your highest position as the people and as the trust protectors. And then you can go down if you want to, and they're doing a good job. You can go down again and be a citizen and receive the benefits, because you're the beneficiary of that trust indenture. You're the beneficiary, and you must benefit, because that is why it's called beneficiary. Benefits, you must benefit. Okay, and they must benefit you. Otherwise, no, they get to be fired, right? And dealt with according to what they have done. So, okay, so this is, you'll find it here, Ballotpedia. I have to get to my son. He needs me. Maxim 77F. No free man shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property, but by the lawful judgment of his peers. See? Or by the law of the land. And guess what? That is by the common law. They even define it for you. The law of the land. See, don't be confused when you hear the word supreme law of the land. Supreme law of the land in the United States Constitution is for the 18 things we hired them to do. There's supreme law of the land to do those 18 things and nothing outside of those 18 things. And so common law is the law of the land of the whole world, actually. But just people don't know how to exercise those rights, those common law rights given to them by God. Some people don't even believe in God, so they miss out. So that's the Maxims of Law book, Charles A. Weissman. Get the book. Yes, I do. I do have the book. I showed it to you before. I'm showing it to you again. There it is. Okay. There it is again, so you know where I'm getting this. Maxim 47H, natural liberty. God's the creator of nature. Natural liberty is the power of acting as one thinks fit. The power of acting as one thinks fit. That's natural liberty. Without any restraint or control, unless by the law of nature. Listen to this definition. This is correct. And unfortunately, when you read some definitions in some dictionaries, you're going to find it distorted somewhat. Because, of course, there's a tug of war to persuade the people to not know the truth, to not know that we are the ones that it's supposed to benefit, that we are the ones that can also correct it as the trust protectors. We're at the top as the creators, and then as the posterity, and then we're the trust protectors, right? Then we are right along there, we are the beneficiaries, and then they're at the bottom. They're the bottom. We're not the bottom. We're not the bottom. Even the beneficiaries are right there at the top, benefiting. They're the ones laying down on the hammock, drinking the pina colada. The beneficiaries. They're the ones having the palm. They're the ones that are supposed to be having that the servant wave the palm and make sure that they're not hot and get their drink, their lemonades and all this stuff. They're the beneficiaries. So they're not at the bottom. They're at the top. They're benefiting. Benefiting. It sounds like they're in a soft hammock to me. So we are also the trust protectors, because if they're not doing it right, if they're not benefiting the ones they're supposed to benefit, then we can go fix that. If we are not able to fix it, then what the heck? Of course our forefathers were intelligent. Of course they made sure that we could fix it. They wrote it in our constitutions. They wrote that we could alter, reform, or abolish whenever our safety and our happiness is in danger. Of course. And this definition is really, really nice because it's so clean, because I'm going to show you later how other people distort it. And they try as hard when they read a sovereign, look it up at, and I'm sorry, but it's distorted. And I don't know if they did it on purpose, with malice, I don't know, but it is wrong nevertheless. The injury is nevertheless the same. If they define sovereignty incorrectly, that's no good. If they define natural liberty incorrectly, that's no good. Common law incorrectly, that's no good. They have to define things correctly. And some of the most important words are the words found, every single word found, in all our Bills of Rights and Declarations of Rights in our constitutions. And if they didn't have time to define, to put them in there in the book, oh, there's no space to write that word down in there. Why not? If that is a great important document, why would they not have room or space to put that word in? It's not nice. If nothing else, it just wasn't nice to not put it in there, because we need those definitions. So here, the Maxim 47H, natural liberty, is the power of acting as one thinks fit, without any restraint or control, unless by the law of nature. What? Unless by the law of nature. It didn't say by the law of a statute or a code, a regulation, an ordinance, an edict, a mandate, a rule. No, it didn't say that. Listen again. Natural liberty is the power of acting as one thinks fit, without any restraint or control, unless by the law of nature. Who is the one that wrote the law of nature? God did. God is the author of the law of nature. He's the one that He's the one that created gravity, the spinning of the planet, the proximity of the moon to the earth, how it has to be there and it can't be further out and it can't be too close in, or else it's over. The location of all the stars and the way they're spiraling and spinning, and we're towards the tail end of it, and everything. All the rules of the atmosphere, how things go up, how things go down, the osmosis, how things get to be solid or they're plasma. All of these rules, how our chromosomes are, all the little commands inside the chromosomes. All that is the law of nature. God writes the law of nature for everything. And he wrote the moral law for us and embedded it in us, that we have no excuse that we didn't know. I didn't know. Yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. When you were angry at the neighbor and you decided to run him over with your car, you knew that it was wrong. Yep. When you decided to push so-and-so down the stairs, you knew that it was wrong. When you decided to copy the answers to the test, you knew that it was wrong. You choose to do wrong sometimes. Some people do, right? We all choose to do wrong now and again. All right, but it's against God. It's against God, and God wrote the law of nature, and he put the moral code right into us, the moral rules into us, so we know clearly if it's right, if it's wrong. We know. Oh, gee, I'm about to steal that money. I have an urge to steal that money. Oh my gosh, I know it's wrong. Ooh, I'm getting all warm. Ooh, I'm going to steal. Ooh, I'm going to steal it. Ooh, shouldn't I steal it? Oh no, steal. Psh, you already knew that it was wrong. You knew that it was wrong. Oh, I'm going to cheat. Oh, that so-and-so is so cute. That so-and-so is so cute. I'm going to cheat. Oh, I know I shouldn't be cheating, but I can't resist it. Oh my gosh. No, I better not. Oh, yes, I better. Oh, no, I better not. Boom, the cheat. Well, you knew it was wrong. You can't disguise it. It was wrong, and it was a wrong done to God. Yes, you harmed another human, but it was also a sin to God. You sin against God. And he remembers everything. He doesn't forget. All right, Maxim 47E. Liberty is more favored than all things. And in brackets, they have the word anything. So liberty is more favored than all things? Really? Yes, it is. Who wants to be a slave? Seriously, you know you don't want to be a slave. You know you don't. It's true. Liberty is more favored than all things. You want to be free. You don't want to be a slave to anyone. So why would our founding fathers be silly enough to just hand all our rights over to the government? Oh my God. And on top of that, here's the big boot, and here's my rear end, and here I'm going to pay you too on top of that. I'm a battered wife and I can't help myself to be battered and allow you to batter me. Nope. No. Not everyone's the battered wife. And now we know what to do to stop that battering. If there happens to be battering happening, if there happens to be abusiveness coming to us from the government personnel, not that it is, I'm saying if there were to be some bad behavior towards us that would harm us. Okay, so in the future, if there happens to be bad behavior towards us, then you know how to correct it, right? I'm not saying it's happening right now, because you have to judge that for yourselves. All right, so liberty, freedom, and this is Black's Law Dictionary first, and I have it also Black's Law Dictionary 5th edition, so you can see how they describe liberty and compare it to the maxim for liberty is more favored than all things, and also natural liberty is the power of acting as one thinks fit without any restraint or control unless by the law of nature. Now look at this. Freedom. Okay, liberty is freedom. Exemption from extraneous control. Oh, an exception? Oh, they have to grant us an exception? Okay. The power of the will in its moral freedom. Oh, okay. They remembered that they couldn't. There's a moral freedom. Okay. To follow the dictates of its unrestricted choice, and to direct the external acts of the individual without restraint, coercion, or control from other persons. Okay, they put here from other persons. And up here it says, unless by the law of nature, the rules of God. Over here they put, or control from persons. Yeah, of course you don't want to be controlled by from other persons. Right? Of course it's not good. Without any restraint or control unless by the law of nature. So you do have restraint and you must exercise control because there's law of nature in place, and that's the one thing you cannot go against. And it's not coming from the government or from any statute. They are not telling you, they're not governing you and telling you, oh, we govern you that you don't kill, murder so-and-so. They can write that, but God already said it. God already said not to murder. So that's the law of nature. They can write a statute about it and all that, but that right to not be murdered, God already gave you that. It comes from Him. It doesn't come from the Constitution. It doesn't come from a statute. It comes from God, and they cannot forget it. It comes from God. God says, do not murder. God said it. Our founding fathers read, the book, the Bible, and they learned it, and they put it in the constitutions. They cannot be deprived of life, cannot be deprived of life, or anything else, or liberty, or anything else, right? So they heard God say it through the writing, right? That's where they got it from. So it doesn't come from the Constitution, because the founding fathers are the ones that wrote it down, and the founding fathers didn't come from them by themselves. It came from the Bible, and it didn't just come from the book by itself. It came from God. So the source is God. God to the Bible, God to the readers of the Bible, the founding fathers, and God. And then the founding fathers wrote it into the Constitution, and now we read it, now we know it. Okay, but it comes from God, not from government and not from statutes or anything else. Okay, so anyway, that's my little take on that. Okay, liberty, freedom, exemption from extraneous control, freedom from all restraints except such as are justly imposed by law. Oh, this one says except those justly imposed by law. See how they're changing it now by dictionary number 5, 5th edition. Now, without restraint, coercion, or control from other persons. over here. Freedom from all restraints except such as are justly imposed by law. Well, this could be correct if it's the law of God they're talking about. But if it's a statute, the statutes do not give us rights. The statutes, they are not the ones that give us rights. The legislature people, they're not the ones that, they do not give us rights. They're just indentured servants. They don't have any rights to give us. They're the ones that are almost slaves. Our founding fathers wrote things in there because they read the Bible, because they got it from God, because it came from God. So, freedom from all restraints except such as are justly imposed by law. Yeah, but they forgot to say by common law. Common law. Not because, understand this. When they write a statute, they like to use the word, ooh, it's a law. It's the law. When in reality, that is not a law. Don't call it a law. Call it a statute. And it's a corporate statute, a corporation statute. So when they call it a law, they're really kind of starting that little mistake, either on purpose or not on purpose, or deliberate or not deliberate. But the point is, it's in error because it is not a law. It is a statute. It is a rule that a personnel must obey, not the people. So God is the one that tells us, do not murder. God is the one. They don't have to tell us that. God already told us that. So, and rights, you will not be murdered. You may not be murdered. Your things must not be taken. The statute didn't give us that. God gave us that. It came from God. We get those rights from God. And let's not forget it. That's what I understand. Now here, and this is the end of video number 9. And it brings me to my wonderful, wonderful mentor, this beautiful man here. His name is Dave Jose, and you can find him at www.restoremyrepublic.com. All one word, all together, no spaces. And you will notice that in all the different platforms he uses this. He uses at Dave Cares for You. All, no spaces, at Dave Cares for You. The little symbol, the A with a circle around it. At Dave Cares for You. You'll find him in Telegram, Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube. I hope he's still in YouTube because I don't know why they were trying to get him off YouTube. It doesn't make any sense. But this is where he was. He has so many free videos that you will learn from. Okay? Now, I recommend to you, highly recommend, note honorary mentions. These women are amazing. They have learned from Dave Jose. They have learned that, like I told you in the groups, there are people who are very, very sharp. Very sharp. And God has gifted them so thoroughly. And they have captured and they are motivated, internally motivated to do good, to do right, to help others. And they're doing just that. They're helping others. And come and meet them. These are the Affidavit Mamas. Affidavit Mamas. AFFIDAVIT. Mamas. MOMMAS. And you'll find them at, of course, https://www.affidavitmamas2021.com/ no spaces. And also another honorable mention is Truth Tornado. Truth Tornado. She is an amazing woman, and the truth is coming to you like a tornado. And be anchored or be swept away. You better be anchored in the Word of God because this is going to get rid of a lot of wrongdoing. A lot of wrongdoing. So the truth, it'll sweep all that villainous activity away. So you'll find her on Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube. And there may be other platforms that you will find her, and I'll try to find out for you for the next video I do, but you'll find her at Truth Tornado. And then there's another honorable mention that I need to mention, but I was kind of busy doing a lot of family things, important things, and I didn't write her information here. I got it. I was ready to do it, and then I got sidetracked with other things. But as soon as I have it, I will let you know. All right? So here's Dave Jose. He has free videos, and they're wonderful videos. But he also has these in-depth, detailed, amazing webinars. They are so beneficial, and they leave you totally bedazzled, totally shocked, and very happy. Very happy because it strengthens the evidence we already have. It is evidence upon evidence that we have all power, and we can go ahead and correct wrongdoing by our government servants. And you have to know this. If you want to give the best that you can give your kids a present for their birthday or for their sweet 16 or quinceañera. But what better gift to give them than to give them a place where they can live, a country where they can live in happiness and safety. What better thing than that? So I recommend to you that you go ahead and look at $50 membership fee. It includes hours of teaching, and this is a PMA where you join with the rest of us, a private membership association. And when you join that, you get the benefits of learning different things and communicating with other members and sharpening your knowledge. And there's so much there. So join this private membership association, and it's $50 membership fee. It's, to learn what's going to give you safety, to learn what's going to give you happiness. What would you pay to undo the wrongs that you feel, you perceive that have happened to you? If you knew that something was not supposed to happen to you and it happened, what would you do to go ahead and correct that? $50 just for a little while. Don't, just save your money. Just save your money. You can do it. Save it, and then they're live. You get to participate, and if you miss the live sessions, then you can go ahead and see the recording. Okay, and that's how I've been learning. I've been using my money for this. I'm not mega wealthy. I'm not wealthy. My house is really tiny and uncomfortable, but we have to endure because my home was taken away without a trial by jury. Yes, it was. It was taken away without a trial by jury, and years of suffering because of it, and all sorts of ramifications, all sorts of injuries because of it, and that has to get redressed. I already applied and turned in I demanded my redress and commanded and ordered my redress of grievance, because I am one of the people. And this government was and is to benefit me. And if it doesn't benefit me, and if it happens that not only are they supposed to defend your rights from others, from like invaders from another country, if they're the ones doing the harming, if they're the ones harming you, then you definitely going to get redress of grievance, because they're not supposed to harm you. They were hired to defend you and defend your individual rights. If they don't do that, if they injure you, big time, they're in trouble. All right, so here it is. Dave Jose. Thank you, Dave Jose. God bless you. God protect you. Thank you all. Affidavit Mamas, for all the wonderful things you do. Truth Tornado, your videos are amazing. We learned so much from your videos. I'm so glad you're doing them. I really am glad. And Affidavit Mamas do videos too that are so highly informative. And they even have times where they pray with everyone. They have Bible lessons. They're amazing Bible lessons. So just attend, go visit them, and you'll see for yourselves, okay? Love you guys. God bless you. God protect you. I'm wearing my hat. You know why I'm wearing my hat? Okay, so let me show you. I'm wearing my hat. Why? Because right now I'm acting like a nurse to my son, and he's needing my attention, but I don't have time to comb my hair. So I put on my hat so I can talk to you, and I have to worry about, did she not do her hair up here right? Girls. You know how girls are. They're so silly like that with, you gotta comb their hair, to be on the video because the whole world can see the video. And so anyway, I just throw on the hat and then I don't have to worry about that. All right. God bless you. God protect you. Bye.